I just got my lifer, Scott's Oriole. Good morning, everyone. It's Roberto with Berto's Bird Life. It is World Migratory Bird Day, also known as Global Big Day, which is a worldwide bird census where they try to get as many people birding out as possible. I did a video on this last fall. It's a biannual event, so now I'm doing the spring one for 2025. It is May 10th, and oh my God, seven rock pigeons. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna try and see as many bird species as I can today. And I even have a species goal. I'm gonna try to get to 115. I figured there's been over 200 species reported within the Albuquerque area within the last week. So I'm gonna try and hopefully get more than half of those birds observed today. It's also gonna be slightly more difficult for me because I'm avoiding certain areas that I'm anticipating are gonna be heavily birded. So I would like to cover some ground where there are not a lot of people out birding and reporting species, so that I could, feel like I can contribute further to the bird census. I'm at the I-40 Bosque trails in Albuquerque. Super poppin' spot. Decided to start off my sesh here. Normally I spend about 2 hours, but since migration season started, I've been spending about 3. There's been so much stuff here. The last couple times I've been here, I've gotten at least one rarity, so pretty exciting. So I am at over 30 species now, and I've only done maybe a quarter of this loop. So that's pretty good. This network of trails is gonna give me an easy 50 plus species. So that's why I had to set my goal so high. As anticipated, I did just get a rarity. It was a swift. I don't know if it was a chimney or a Vox's swift, but it was one of those two. Both those species look so similar. I think it was more likely a chimney, because I think it's a more common rarity. They have a natural breeding range in the eastern part of the state, but However, I ended up getting a positive ID on another rarity. All right, so I'm looking at a brown thrasher right now, perched very conspicuously. Wish I could see the front side of it, but that coloration, there isn't really any other thrasher with that reddish brown of a color on the backside, unless it's a long-billed thrasher, but I highly doubt that. Also just got some really nice looks at a yellow-breasted chat. It's still singing right in front of me as well. Just filmed that bird. So many yellow-breasted chats here. I've never seen so many in my life. It's insane. But wow, that brown thrasher, that's 3 times in a row confirmed a rare bird species at this location. I just did the north loop of the I-40 Bosque trails, and I'm gonna do the southern loop. It's a little longer. I'm at a little over 40 species, so it's looking pretty good so far. Not too far in the southern end. I think I might be approaching 50 species. Just got some nice footage of a blue grosbeak. That's the first time I've seen one in Bernalillo County. And then I also just got my first swamp sparrow of New Mexico. Really nice looks. They winter here in small numbers. I'd been looking for them forever, and I got a lot of pictures and videos of it thinking it might be rare. Came up infrequent, but glad I got those anyway, not just for the channel, but sparrows can be so incredibly difficult to distinguish. So that was a cool find. Okay, I just had a really cool wildlife encounter. Oh my God, I just saw my first ever badger. I've never seen one before, and I got some video footage of it too. It was just staring at me, and it had its big burrow. It was a really cool sighting. Wow, that was so freaking cool. Oh my God, my first badger on Global Big Day. All right, I just finished the I-40 trails and got over 60 species. Pretty good turnout for Global Bird Day. Kind of surprised. There are a few common ones that I expected to see along the Bosque trails that I didn't get. I didn't see any summer tanagers, which I've been seeing every time along the Rio Grande River since I started seeing them. So I'm gonna check out the Campo Road trails just north of here, just for a few more common species that you can see, because I know I'm not going to see them anywhere else. Then I'll probably head over to the foothills.
I ended up getting over half a dozen new species for the day at the Campo Road trails, including a few more birds on footage, like this snowy egret, a green-tailed towhee, and a lesser scaup.
I just finished up at the Campo Road Bosque trails, did the north loop only. Wasn't as active as it normally is, and most of the birds I saw were birds I saw at the I-40 Bosque trails, but I did get about, I think 9 new species is what I just counted on my list, so not too bad. I did get the summer tanagers, which was nice. Didn't get them on film, but that's okay. Now I'm gonna get some grub and then go check out some different habitats. I'm gonna go hit up the Copper Trailhead.
The Copper Trails switched up the habitat from riverways to desert foothills, where I got a number of more birds on footage.
In the foothills of the Sandia Mountains, and I'm seeing quite a few different species. It's not the best time of day to be out birding. It's between 12 and 1 o'clock, so it is about in the low 70s right now, so not too bad. There's a slight breeze, which feels kind of nice. Seeing quite a few curve-billed thrashers, some northern mockingbirds, very quick footage of a northern mockingbird, quite a few other things that I'm adding to my list for the day. So I think I might be over 70 species. I also had a couple incidentals on the way. There's a gray-tailed grackle outside the place I was getting a burrito, and there was a Swainson's hawk at the traffic light. So let's keep going. Taking a break in the shade right now under this juniper. It was really cool. As soon as I sat down, I heard a chirp behind me, and I turned around and there's a black-throated gray warbler right in front of my face. So cool.
I ended up seeing several black-throated gray warblers at the next location I went to go birding at.
All right, so I got a bunch of new species at the Copper Trail, and even though I got a bunch of new ones, I'm still missing quite a few common ones. Like I still have not seen a roadrunner or a cactus wren at all today, which are two of my favorite birds. I'm kind of sad about that, and I don't think I'm probably not going to see them at all for the rest of the day because I'm climbing higher in elevation now up the Sandia Mountains. I'm now at the Carlitos Springs open space, and the landscape is transitioning now into more conifer heavy forest. It's mostly pine trees and juniper now, so should see some different species. So I got a few new birds on this list. There was a singing ruby-crowned kinglet. Saw a warbling vireo. That was pretty cool. First one I've seen today. And then juniper titmice. I definitely expected those here. Lots of juniper out here. This is good habitat for them. Did get see another black-throated gray warbler. In fact, I saw a couple of them. I got some really nice looks at this one. Really stoked about that footage. Warblers are freaking hard to film because they're all usually high in the trees and they're so tiny and fast, always foraging, moving 24/7.
I moved higher up in elevation at my next stop, but the bird action was pretty slow by this point.
So I ended up parking at the Dock Long campground and hiking the Bill Spring Trail, and I did get a few new birds that are you can really see in this type of habitat where it starts to really turn into fir trees, ponderosa pine. So, and it's starting to quiet down. So I think I'm gonna head back while there's still daylight left. And I'm gonna try and maybe hit another spot in the foothills, knock out a few common birds that I haven't seen yet today.
For my last stop of the day, I went birding at Tres Pistolas Canyon, an absolute stunner of a location to view birds. I ended my global big day experience here with a special treat.
I just got my lifer, Scott's Oriole. It was a male perched on a juniper, and it was carrying nesting material when I first saw it, so the nest is somewhere nearby. I ended up seeing the female as well. Oh, it is such a beautiful bird. All the Orioles are just so beautiful. So any Oriole to add to my life list, oh, it is a treat.
The Scott's Oriole is a strikingly colored bird of the desert southwest. They can be found in many western states from spring to fall. They are closely associated with the yucca plants, which they use for food and making nests. But they will also use pinyon pine trees, palm trees, and in this case, a juniper tree.
Oh, I wanted violet green swallow. Couple of them. Yeah, one of the reasons I wanted to come here is because it looks like this was, according to bar charts, this is a pretty reliable spot for Scott's Orioles, so I'm pretty stoked about that.
I ended my big day with 91 bird species. Not quite to my goal of 115, but still a really fun day with many birds seen. Did you do a big day this year? How many bird species did you see? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. As always, thanks for watching Birdo's Bird Life. I'll see you next time on the next adventure.